Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel reunited for a free concert in Central Park, one of the largest attended concerts in history. This concert is an important prophetic sign. On February 23, 2024, a famous owl died in Central Park. A number of months prior to the owl's death, it had escaped the Central Park Zoo. It died after it collided with a tower, which was symbolism that hinted at the planes, including an American Airlines flight with a giant eagle painted on its tail that crashed into the Twin Towers south of Central Park. The theme of Paul Simon's new album is of crossing over into the afterlife. The cover art of this Seven Psalms album uses Thomas Moran's Two Owls. Seven Psalms is Simon's 15th solo album. 15 is equal to 5 plus 5 plus 5. The name of the owl that died in Central Park was Flacco. Flacco died 5 plus 5 plus 5 days after Joe Flacco received the NFL's Comeback Player of the Year award at a ceremony before the Super Bowl. Joe Flacco wears jersey number 15, which is 5 plus 5 plus 5. Joe Flacco is known for winning the Super Bowl as the quarterback for the Ravens. Ravens, like owls, are birds with dark symbolism. The Antichrist is the president who was known to be a night owl while in the White House. God uses firsts for signs. The first instance of the word owl in the Bible is in Leviticus 11:17. The Antichrist is described in Zechariah 11:17 in the Bible. The name Bama in the Bible is H11:17 in Strong's Concordance. And that's important because of the equation that God is using that aligns with what Jesus said in Luke 10:18, which is that he saw Satan falling like lightning from heaven. Well, the word Barack Obama means lightning from heaven, because the word lightning in Hebrew is barak, and Bama it means high place, which is this 11:17 word. And in the Bible, the high place is an idiom for heaven, as for example, Lucifer is said to have fallen from the high place. And also the Jews would, the high places is a euphemism in the Bible for the false religious worship that the Jews would conduct on the tops of mountains. So in other words, this Bama isn't positive really. And anyway, the word for from in Aramaic, the language Jesus would have spoken, is O. And so Barack Obama means lightning from heaven. Either Jesus didn't know what he was saying when he said this, or he knew there would be a famous president and said this anyway, knowing that it would confuse us, or he was revealing the identity of the Antichrist. Obviously, the latter option is the only one that makes any sense. So anyway, we have this owl. Now, and it points to Obama, and furthermore, he was the night owl. Now, the night owl president will make a dramatic comeback and become the president again, which is the prophetic reason for the Comeback Player of the Year award. 5 plus 5 plus 5 days after Flacco got his award, player number 5 plus 5 plus 5, received his Comeback Player of the Year award, the owl named Flacco died. The Antichrist is the basketball president. Flacco died on the same day of a sports news story about Victor Wembanyama's, which hints at Obama, rare 5x5 game. Okay, the Antichrist is the basketball president. So we have this basketball player who had a 5x5 game. His name hints at Obama, the basketball president. Now, a 5x5 game is when a player scores at least 5 points, rebounds, blocks, steals, and assists, which is 5 categories. Wembanyama plays for San Antonio, which is near where Paul Simon currently lives. Okay, now, so this, once again, this Flacco owl died on the same day as the 5x5 game by Wembanyama, which points to Paul Simon because that's where he plays, right near where he lives. And that Flacco owl sign and the 5x5 game was 5 plus 5 days after Flacco won the award, and he wears jersey number 5 plus 5 plus 5. All right. Now, Paul Simon is predicted to die on August 31st, exactly 555 days after the death of Flaco the Owl and Wembanyama's 5x5 game, which was 5 plus 5 plus 5 days after Flaco, player number 5 plus 5 plus 5, received his Comeback Player of the Year award. In other words, all of that serves to confirm this 555 days connection to Simon's predicted death. And we're talking about an owl's death that hinted at Simon's death because of the Seven Psalms album with the owls on it, etc. The most evil king in Israel's history ruled for 55 years. And I believe Satan is mentioned 55 times in the Bible, the word Satan. Simon sang about driving up the I-55 highway to the king of rock and roll's Graceland mansion. The Central Park concert attracted 500,000 people and raised over $50,000 for the Central Park. The 500th word in the concordance is the word for Satan, Antichrist, by the way. The name Paul Simon is equal to 500 in Hebrew gematria. The concert was exactly 500 months before the release of Simon's Seven Psalms album that depicts owls on its cover. And again, the owl died in Central Park where the concert was, and we have this 500 months connection from the concert that was attended by 500,000 people involving Paul Simon, whose name is equal to 500, and there was $50,000 raised from the concert. Now, again, the the Seven Psalms album, which was released exactly 500 months after with owls on its cover, was released exactly 500 months after the Central Park concert, and the owl died in Central Park. Well, anyway, the Seven Psalms album with owls on its cover is Simon's 5 plus 5 plus 5th solo album. This 555 days in between the death of Flaco the Owl, Wembanyama's 5x5 game, and Simon's predicted death is also 18 months and 8 days. H188 in Strong's Hebrew Concordance is the word that means woe! The fifth trumpet judgment that follows the sound of silence in heaven is the first of the woes in the book of Revelation.